Hey everybody, BionicDance here. So, it seems that once again some well-meaning YouTube subscribers have found my Amazon wishlist and sent me a couple of items. It's awfully flattering that you guys keep doing this. I mean, I put up a thank you video and someone says, gosh, let's do it to her again. I suppose my only concern about this, well, okay, I guess I have two. One, I'm not really asking for this stuff. You guys are doing it on your own, and yet some people are calling me a whore because of it. It's whatever. They're idiots. That's not a big deal. The other concern, though, actually, it's something that you guys are doing to yourselves. In the thank you notes, you're giving me your names, but not your YouTube channels. So I can't give you a shout out if you want more views or more subscribers or anything. I'd love to be doing that, but you know, you guys are just giving me your names. I suppose maybe some of you aren't video makers to begin with, but regardless, I mean, I like saying thank you, but I'd love to say, you know, thank you in a more substantial way. So if you want more subscribers and you've decided to send me something, tell me your channel name, I'll link you. Just saying. Anyway, to give the proper thank yous, we have one episode of Coupling. Let's see, do I have the right one here? This is the, nope, that's the third season. The fourth season was sent to me by William Dupree? Not sure. But regardless, thank you very much for that. And as I say, I also got the third season of Coupling. Great show, by the way. You guys should totally be watching it. This one was sent to me by Joseph Caden Adkins. So thank you very much for that. Really appreciate that. Now, a third item was sent to me by Brandon Hankins. Now, this one amazed me. This was The Adventures of Tintin, directed by Steven Spielberg, right? Now, I have been reading the comic books of Tintin since the Hoover administration. I mean, I love these comics. Okay, granted, there are times when they can get a little bit, well, marginally almost racist in a way, but they were made in, like, what, the 50s? Not that that's an excuse, but people were a little less than, you know, than PC back then. Even so, Tintin himself tends to be not very racist. It's usually the characters around him. But regardless, I mean, these are great books. There's a lot of them, as you can see. This is a list on the back. And I have them all on my Kindle, which is pretty cool. But this movie, now here's the thing, okay? They've been making a lot of movies based on things from my childhood. Things I loved a lot. Titles that meant a lot to me. And almost inevitably, they've been garbage. They've been crap. They don't live up to my childhood memories. Whether it's a sequel or a reimagining or just a film version of a book or a comic that I love, almost inevitably, they're just rotten, horrible. They nostril rape my childhood memories. It's like, why? What are you thinking? What are you doing? This is awful. Almost inevitably. And I had never seen this. I missed it in the theater. So I was terrified to actually watch it. When I asked for it on my Amazon wish list, well, it was mostly just because I wanted to see it. But I wasn't sure if it was going to be good, and I was so scared. You have no idea. But I watched it, and it was amazing. Oh my goodness, this was so good. This was like everything I could have hoped for. Seriously. Okay, to be fair, it wasn't perfect. But Spielberg, what he did, he gave it that sort of Indiana Jones feel in a way, but with the Tintin characters, and it worked. Because, I mean, Tintin was always going on adventures. You know, he was always doing almost Indiana Jones-esque stuff, but he's a reporter with a dog instead of, you know, an archaeologist with a bullwhip. So it was really good. Okay, my only real criticisms, some of them were superficial things, like there's this opera singer that Captain Haddock here absolutely despises, and she shows up in so many of the episodes, and she's always singing this Jewel song from Faust, which, honestly, I don't know if that's what she was singing when she was in this, She was singing something, but it was in a foreign language. And in the comic, they translated as something like, these jewels bright I wear, was I ever Margarita, or something. And I wanted to hear what that sounded like. And I don't know if that's what they did in here, or if it was just some other song. And if it was just some other song, then I'm disappointed, because I want to know what that jewel song sounds like. And also, her last name, I've never been sure how to pronounce it. She's from Italy. She's from Milan. And so, I assume it's pronounced in sort of an Italian way, so I guess it's Castafiore, but it looks sometimes like it could be pronounced Castafiore. I don't know, but Castafiore, I think that's how it's pronounced. So there's that. There were a few times when it devolved into kind of pointless slapstick comedy at times, and I was like, but you know, those were minor little moments. I think my biggest criticism is that this particular movie was based on these two, Red Rackham's Treasure and the Secret of the Unicorn. But the thing is, in Red Rackham's Treasure, as you can see, there's this shark-shaped submarine, right? And that is invented by this character right here. I don't know if you can see him. It's hard to... Yeah. His name is Professor Cuthbert Calculus, and he gets introduced in Red Rackham's Treasure. But in this, I guess to shorten it, they did not do the deep-sea diving portion. So, I mean, and while that was a little bit disappointing, I find myself wondering, because there is going to be a sequel, and not directed by Spielberg, directed by what's-his-face, who did the Lord of the Rings shit, whatever his name is. But yeah, you know, it should be good. But they're going to do a sequel. If they're going to have Professor Calculus in the movie, well, I mean, I guess there's other ways they could introduce a scientist character. I mean, there's plenty of other episodes, like the Destination Moon and Explorers on the Moon. I mean, he features rather highly in there, and they could definitely introduce a scientist that way. But, I mean, he's a major character. There's at least one issue that's named after him. And oh yeah, here's the Castafiore Emerald, you know, so that's how her name is spelled. But point is, oh my gosh, was this an amazing movie. It really was a lot of fun. I mean, despite those criticisms, I had such a blast watching this. And, I mean, I wasn't sure, like, what would Tintin's voice sound like? How would his delivery be? What would the captain's voice sound like? How would his delivery be? They did such a good job. I mean, seriously, watching this, it felt like it was made by somebody who read and liked Tintin the way I did. That wanted a movie that felt like my childhood experiences, but up on screen. It was awesome. I mean, so often they make something so terrible. But no, not this. Not this. This was great. This was absolutely wonderful. This is how a movie adaptation should be. Just saying. So, anyway, this is BionicDance saying a rather long-winded thank you, and also a review of Tintin. I'll catch you evil geniuses later. Please take the time to rate this video. And hey, if you dig what I do, subscribe. And please visit my Zazzle store, where you'll find all kinds of BionicDance merchandise. So, who wants cake? You have to rate first.